Hey kids, it's me again. Yeah. Well, it melted down pretty fast. But yesterday was a killer on me. Snow shoveling ain't my thing. Almost wrecking the car 7 times, man, you know. I didn't hit nothing. But when all four wheels want to go their own way and it's an all-wheel drive Subaru, maybe I bought 2 sets of cables. Maybe I should have put them on. You know, front and rear, all wheel, because, man, my driveway's like, yo, down, man, you know? And Terry's going out back out of his place is down, man, you know? I mean, it was all I could do, you know? But yesterday was a snow day. It puked all day, then it melted. Melted down pretty good. I mean, yeah, you know, melted down. But there's Johnny. I really need Johnny in his 4-wheel drive with some gnarly ass tires and, you know, chains on all four, and I wouldn't worry about getting hurt. But it melted down pretty fast. You know, there's that foreign piece of junk. Okay. But I got to do something, man. I got to do something today. You know, so, you know, I mean, it's a sloppy mess out here. It's going to be this way for a couple of days. It's supposed to rain again tomorrow, snow, whatever. But then we're going to have, like, till Thursday, nice days. And that way I can get in here. Because, I mean, look at the puddles. I mean, it's like, come on, man. Do you think I want to crawl in this? And then it's all the rock. But I got to work on that exhaust pipe. It's down under there somewhere. You know, I mean, you can see it here. I could probably do it here, but you got to get down under there and you got to brace it up and you got to do all that kind of stuff, man, when you're playing with it. Because you don't want anything to mess up. You want it to go on right. Yo, this is the tricky, though, man. This has been sitting here now for 2 days and has not lost a drop of water. New heater, new hose, new hoses. They're just capped off. They got a pipe in them, a little brass pipe. They're capped off, and there ain't no drips. So if I feel real energetic and I jump up on my brick, I might put the starter in. Since I see a stud hanging out there that I can rest it on, and make it way easy, and you don't have to crawl underneath. I didn't have to crawl underneath to get it out. That'd be the sweet thing. And then, of course, I got to do that choke cable. You know, you can see it hanging over there underneath the heater, that line that goes up there and just kind of tucks under the heater there. That's supposed to be under the carburetor. And, you know, I still got to clean out that line. I can do that while I'm standing here, you know. But I got new fuel filter, piece of line, you know, just a little piece of line, you know. Enough to drop into a can and run, because I don't want to do anything else but that. But there we go, man. That's the update right now for today, which is day 9 of working on it. And man, the nightmare I'm finding out about my brakes, these brakes ain't going to be easy to get the wheel cylinders for. They're a really different type of wheel cylinder. They don't go straight into the back of the wheel. What they do is they got some kind of weird block, and it's got a bolt in it, and I think the bolt has a channel, and then it taps out of that block because it's got to tie into the line that goes across this particular rear end. And everything I'm looking at, man, stands to reason to be either a 1 ton or a 10.5, not a 3/4 ton truck. Everything is bigger than what's supposed to have been on the truck. You know, I mean, it came that way, but it's labeled as a K20 and it's looking like a K30. That's what it's looking like. Everything I'm seeing would be stand to reason it's a K30, and they just didn't know how to put it on the tag on the door frame because, you know, it's a special truck. So they didn't know what to do with DMV and all that other good stuff. So there's my update. We're going to let you go here now while I try to do something to Johnny be good. I'm not having a physically great day, but, you know, I got my new heater in my pump house, another $150. It's because the other one didn't have a filter on it. And these are disposable filters, and they're like $35 freaking dollars, man. And they don't tell you how long you're going to be able to use it. So on a month now, I might be spending another bunch of money. to keep the batteries warm for my house that I only use for 1 or 2 lights a night. Pretty expensive off the grid living. Hey kids, it's me again. Hey, I want you to check this out. There's that choke cable on. And the choke is that little silver thing there, kind of funny thing. See, it's silver, you can tell it's in there. Now, right now, the choke is fully open. So we'll walk around here and we'll set you in Johnny's driver's seat. And so if you was in Johnny's driver's seat and you wanted to start your truck first thing in the morning, you'd pull this choke, about halfway, that 3/4 way out. Probably should fire up. So we'll take a look. That's about the half, 3/4 from what my feel of it is. You know, yeah, that's about, that's how far. Now, technically, if you pull that chokey, seriously, if you pull that choke all the way, that much, so you can tell how far out it is. That's the choke. Oh, that's the choke. We finally found out what it was. And that one over there, that's the backup light. But at least it's there. So now that we've seen it that way, now you get to see full out a perfect set choke. You do not want it to close all the way. It has to stay open about yay much, even on an automatic choke. That's what they stay open, so they'll have some air to go along with that massive amount of gas you're choking down its neck. Oh, that's its neck down there. It's connected to its lungs over here. Okay, so choke is on. Fuel lines. Fuel line right there. That one is just kind of hanging there. That goes right here and down below over here to the fuel pump. See the line kind of hanging out down there by the pump? Well, I'm working on this stuff now. That's the fittings. This one goes on the outside edge over here. It'll have a rubber hose and a fuel filter in it going to the connection that hose with that clamp on down there is connected to. So it ain't got to be a very big piece. And then the other one goes in that way, so it seats in with that line. And I'm going to use a little bit of this to ensure that it doesn't leak. I don't want to play with it. So there we go, man. That's my next project. We've made it that far. I'm going to get the air filter back on, call that one done. And when I go to start this thing, I'm not going to connect this line up until I go to start it. That's because I want to get a little squirt bottle with some gasoline in it, and I want to fill this. And when this is full, it will flow into the carburetor's float bowl. And when it's full, then I'll have gas to the pedal, so that my very first pump will send gas down. I won't have to sit here and crank and crank and crank and crank and wait for that pump to get gas to fill this up. It will be full when it starts. That pump will start and it will fill back up. Another thing I could do too would be to backfill this with gas, and then hook it up. Know that there's gas in this line. By the time that pump gets, it'll have an air bubble come through, but it'll run right from the turn of the key, man. 2 pedal pushes, pull the choke about where it is right now, and this thing should fire right up. Seriously. Now, I ain't saying it ain't gonna knock and bang or anything else. I don't know yet. But yeah, I get the fuel pump connected today. I might even be energetic enough to drop that 35-pound starter down in there. I got it. It's here. Just need to get it hooked up. 2 bolts. Well, it's actually 1 bolt and 1 nut and washer. And then I got, little things for the solenoid, like this little yellow wire. And the wires are right here. And that little purple wire there is the one that actually goes to the key and makes it go. Okay, so there we go, man. Oh, I haven't said it yet. It's me again. Whew. Man, what a day. What a day. It's beautiful out here. It's warming up a little bit. I can handle it. I can get stuff done. If I get all of this stuff done, then all I got to do is work on that exhaust gasket, and I don't want to do that with all that sloppy ass mud down there. Excuse the language there. Sloppy mud down there. But yeah, here's to you, a cup of coffee out here in the cold. Here's that beautiful fuel filter. Now see, I'm a smart guy. I don't just buy a filter and wonder whether it's plugged up or not. I buy the kind you can see in. I'll know what's in this before it hits the pump. I'll go through maybe 2 or 3 of these with this tank before these will stay clear. Because, you know, they got gnarly filters at the gas stations now. You don't really need those when you're getting the gas right out of the pump. It's when you got oldies like this. You know, hey, Johnny, be good, man. It's me again. Hey, progress. I just kept at it, man. I'm freezing my booty off out here, man. But, okay, so I flushed that fuel line, and I had to hook it up there temporarily because I needed to line up the bottom line. So everything went right into place, got the bottom tight, top one's just finger tight. Johnny's starter's back in. Wasn't fun, had to literally crawl up inside to hold it up in there. And that little handy Andy board was the real trick, man. I put it behind that nub that sticks out on the little chromy piece there, somewhat chromy, and just pried it, you know, lifted it up, because there's a bolt on the top, nothing on the bottom. It's a bolt that goes in the bottom. So with the stud on the top, it was easy to get her in there. Everything's all tight in there, ready to rock. And I had a slight little drippy here on those hoses, changed out and got a better clamp. Now that hose shouldn't drip anywhere, especially with it being higher than everything else. It shouldn't drip. That's the only leak I seem to have. But progress, man. I still need to get that exhaust, man, but it's muddy and everything out here right now. I'm going to wait, you know, until probably Tuesday and jump on that. But in the meantime, any of them other clear days, I'm going to go ahead and change out the cap, the rotor, and the wires. I'm going to utilize the points that are in it until I get it running and get the valve, you know, the valves adjusted. You got to have it hot to do that. And then I'll go ahead and once everything's hot and all that good stuff, I'll give her the new set of points and condenser and toss on my timing light, man. Yeah, I can use it because I got it marked back there. But I can either use a timing light or do it the old style way, which was a light bulb and a wire, and you connect part of it to you know, ground and part of it to positive whenever it comes around there, you know. It's like, man, give me a timing light. I got one. So there we go, man. That's my day. My feet are freezing. It's probably no more than 38 degrees out here, and I think it's close to like 2 o'clock. I don't know. But, yeah, what a day in the war zone. Been quiet here this week. Not bad. Not bad. I can hang. There's Johnny's mess way down over there. Yeah, I don't know. Somebody, one of his own kind came and kicked the door open and left it open after they ripped the gate out again. See, man? Who knows? You know, they're doing it to themselves. So, me again. There we go, man. That's my day today. I got the starter in. I got the fuel line on to from the pump to the carb. I'm going to go ahead and do another little situation with the fuel line and drop it into a gas can. Set it right down in here, drop it into a gas can, and then fire it up, man, when I go to fire it up. There we go. We're getting closer. We're getting way closer, man. Not bad for in the middle of the winter out here, you know. This is the kind of stuff I like to do in the springtime, you know. Hey, peace. Here, me again. Been a little busy today. This is day 10. I ain't gonna get a lot done today. I probably should go to town and get new gauges and things like that while I might have a break. But I got all the wires and cap and rotor all in. So we're getting closer. I just need to get to that donut gasket, but as muddy and sloppy as it is, I know I got 4 or 5 really good clear days, possibly 6. So I'll get to the donut gasket, but I need to get some gauges, get them in. I think I'm going to go ahead and take the alternator off and have it tested. So that's today. Hey, it's me again. I'm going to keep this one short because I'm going to have to race to town, obviously, and try to get back. Peace. Hey, it's me again. Another update. How about that? Well, okay, I got the alternator out and I took it to town. And every inch of the way of town, and even all over the counter, it would just, you could just spin it, shake it, whatever. And the mud that fell out of it from all the mud daubers, that lived in this thing. But I had it tested. It's putting out 13 volts. It's supposed to be 14.1. It's marginal. It'll run the truck. It's got a weird voltage regulator on it. It's on the side because this was originally a 6-volt system with a generator, and he converted over to an alternator. Why? I don't know, because you can always get a generator, and they generate. They don't just move the current around. They make the current. So here we go, man. I ordered an alternator, and homie at the parts house, he doesn't know anything about that, what he's calling aftermarket voltage regulator that was bolted to it. I got on the internet. I typed in the name of the company and the thing because it's made in the U.S. Well, it turns out that they make regulators for all kinds of things. Harley Davidson's cars, your house, whatever, man. These people do it. And I ordered one through Amazon for $34, and then I jumped on eBay after the fact and found one from the Transpo and not the aftermarket other company that's making one just like theirs. I could have got an actual one from them for $29. Could have saved $10. But still, it's going to be here. It's not going to be here until after the 1st. But I can still because I still have this alternator, I can still put it in and get Johnny fired up before the end of the month and before the 1st. And the alternator that I ordered will probably be here tomorrow or the next day. But, it can sit there until I get to town and pick it up, because I got one here I can put back in. I looked at the gauges. The new regulator, the old one only had 4 wires. The 4 wires, 2 went to the plug that plugged in, 1 went to the hot, and 1 went to the negative. It never had an idiot light. After he converted it, he would turn the key on and he wouldn't have that light that said, "Gin," and go off as soon as you start the car. So the one I bought has that extra wire out of it for the light. And I'm going to go ahead and wire the light because the bulb is just hanging underneath the dash, just waiting to be plugged back in. Actually, it's got to have a bulb put in because he got tired of it glowing down there, or not glowing, I don't know. But I can put it back in, and I can put the temperature gauge ones back in. I think what he's got here is he had 3 gauge setups. 1 gauge has been missing. It's gone. It's not there in the 3 rack. So you got a gap in there like this. 1 is definitely oil. It's got lines going to it. I can get new gauge that those lines will screw to, and I can get, a whole new rack of Stewart Warner gauges that will go right into place, and I can get them going. Far as this idiot light, when I get it hooked up and wired into the actual light that goes to the dash and turns red when you turn the key on and goes off as soon as it starts, once I get that light wired in, I can run the gauges right off of the battery and still get the same reading as if I was running right off of the alternator. And that would also give me a light for the gauge too, and not be wired into that main harness that was only 2 wires going to a generator. So it's like, but it's going to be sharp, man. I mean, everything when I go to start this thing, man, when I do this, I know it's going to be, going down the road ready engine-wise. So there we are. We're moving along. I ordered that. I picked up some new cable ends for my brand new cable ends instead of the old beat-up ones that I drug out of the RV for my battery. And let's see. When I bought a fan belt at Napa, I had taken a rope and taped the rope together and got the right distance that I needed, and the guy at the auto parts store says, "Well, is it down in the groove or is it up on the top of the groove?" I says, "It's down in the groove," and he said, "Okay, I need to know that." And what he ended up doing was I could shove my alternator all the way into the inside, man, to where it's untight, right? And I literally have to use a screwdriver to pry that bad dog on. That's not right. So, that's 22 bucks down the drain for that one. And I had to buy another one today, and I haven't tortured myself to see how much it is, but it's an inch longer, which means that in that little throw where you bolt your alternator up, there's a little bolt, a little curvy thing, right? And when you bolt it up, you stretch it over, you get it tight. But with it all the way in, I'll be able to just slip the belt on without prying, putting holes in my thumb, trying to get it off. You see the Band-Aid? Yeah. I got 2 holes in my body just trying to get that belt off today. That ain't supposed to be that way. And I'm tired of these parts guys sticking it in me, just to get some money for their corporation. That's a Napa guy for you. What can I say? But Johnny's going together, man. Johnny be going to be good. Johnny going to be running. Johnny be good, 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 good. Yeah, it's coming. Later. We're going to cut you off, man.